today's lesson, we are going to be focusing on these letters, starting from Alef, ending with Thal. So, here I will be telling you which letter equals in English. This will make it easier for you to get the pronunciation. I am starting with Alef. Alef equals A. A, I pronounce it as Alef. Ba equals B. So, in English, I am having B, in Arabic, Ba. Ta equals T. And then I am having Tha. Tha equals TH. But here we need to be aware of a point. This TH like the word think, because you know there is another pronunciation for TH in English. For this letter, Tha, it will be just like I say the word think. Then later you can see a different TH, how it's pronounced in Arabic. Let's proceed with Jeem, which equals J. Then I am having Ha. Ha equals H. But here it's not the strong H, like Ha. It's a little slighter, a little softer, like I am saying Ha. Ha. Kha equals KH. Kha. Then I am having Dal, which is very clear, like you are having D in English. The last letter for my lesson here is Thal. Did you see? Here I am having another TH, but here not the same as think. No, here my TH like in the word the. So that's why I will say Thal. So this one is Thal, this one is Tha. But both of them in English, they are similar to the letter TH. One more time, I will be reading the letters and I am going to be giving you a little short time so you can read after me. If you are ready, let's start. Alef, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jeem, Ha, Kha, Dal, Thal. I think now you are familiar with them, you are familiar with their shapes, you are also know how to pronounce them even for a little softening time. But later, I will be helping you to learn how to write it. In every lesson, we will be learning the pronunciation, the way of writing, and in addition to this, we will be having words that including our letters. So, I am going to be starting with the first letter, which is Alef. There are two types of Alef. I have Alef with Hamza. As you can see, the above, here we call it Hamza. And then I am having Alef without Hamza. It doesn't include any Hamza here. And the difference between them and when to use this or when to use this, it will be explained once we finish the alphabet. But for now, I just want you to be aware of each letter has two forms. Alef, it has the basic form, or what we call it detached. So in this case, when do I use this form of Alef? Like whether it's with Hamza or without it. It can be in the beginning or in the middle or even final. But the most important thing, it's not attached to any letter. That's why I call it detached. On the other hand, I am having Alef with Hamza and attached. It means it is having one hand from the right. Why I put this hand? Because it shows This Alef is being attached to a letter before it. But make sure Alef cannot be attached from the end. I mean, here it can be having one hand from the right, but impossible to be attached from the left. That's why we need to be aware of this point. So Alef, either it's basic or detached without any hands, or attached from the right only, which can be giving it a hand from the right left, and there is no way to be attached from the left. Everything I am saying about Alef with Hamza is being applied on Alef without Hamza. I told you the differences in the use. We can talk about it later. Now, since now we are familiar with the pronunciation, with the shapes, let's have the way of writing. I am starting with Alef with Hamza and it's detached or basic. How to write it? First thing, you need to be aware of this bold line. This is the line where I am going to write Alef. So, I will be doing Alef and then Hamza. That's simple. I have one word for this, like the word Asad. Asad means a lion. Did you see the Alef? Where I put it, it's in the beginning and it's detached or basic. Let's move to Alef attached. If you can see, I am having a line, or which I call it hand, and then the line for Alef, then Hamza. So this is considered as Alef attached, like the word Fa'r. Fa'r means mouse. Did you notice my Alef, which is attached from only this side, but from the left it's detached, even though I am having another letter, but it didn't give any hand. The same thing as Alef without any Hamza. Just draw a line. That's simple. And this example for it is isma. The word isma means listen. Did you see I am having Alef at the beginning of the word, but it is detached and it having no Hamza. The last form of Alef is Alef without Hamza attached. Another hand, and this is Alef. Like the word jar, which means a neighbor. You see, I am having Alef attached from only one side, which is on the right, and yet it's not attached to the left, and also without any Hamza. I think by this we covered everything about Alef, how to pronounce it, how to write it, and we also took some examples as a practical use. Let's move to 3 letters. Ba, ta, tha. If you can notice, I put them all in one slide. Why? Why I should be just gathering them in the same slide, in the same page? Let's consider them as one family. How is that? If you can notice, this is the basic body. For 3 of them, is it similar or no? For sure it's similar. You can notice it's the same basic body, but the differences are in the dots. For example, ba is having 1 dot below. Ta is having 2 dots above. And tha is having 3 dots above. That's why they are sharing the same slide, because they are having the same thing, similarity in the shape and even in the same way of writing. The thing I need to tell you is for ba, ta, and tha, I will be explaining the ba, then everything is applied on ta and tha, but you have to be aware of the dots. The dots are the secrets for you to know what is the letter, because if I am having this shape, I cannot tell what is it unless I see what is my dot. It was ba, ta, or tha. So please be careful about each dot, how many, and the position of it. I am having basic form of ba. As you can notice, this is the way how I write it. Just like this, and then a dot below. But here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am having 4 forms. It's very different than Alef. Alef had 2 forms only. But here, ba is more, let's say, generous. It's having more attached form. Because if I want to have it initial, it means I have hand from the left. Or if it was medial, it can be having from both hands. I am having hands from right and left. Also, it can be final. I mean, this is ending the word. In this case, the hand will be only from right. And if it is having no hands at all, it will be the basic. And everything is being applied on ba. You can have it on ta and tha. Just notice the difference between the dots. Let's write the letter ba together and see the words that are similar. For basic ba, I am having this and then 1 dot below. Like the word dub, which means bear. You can see ba without any hands. Then I am having initial ba, which is 1 hand from the left. Like the word bayt, means a house. You see, initial ba. Then ba in the middle, which we call it medial. Like the word hibr, means ink. It's having 2 hands from both sides. My last word is qalb, which means heart. This is how I write ba final and it's being attached. This is one side word. About ta, it's just like ba, but you are going to be having 2 dots above. This is ta. Like the word hoot, which means whale. You see, this is basic ta, not attached to any word. Initial ta, just like this. Then my word taj means a crown, starting with ta. Then ta in the middle, which is having in the middle like the word kitab, a book. This is ta in the middle, having 2 hands. Last word, which is representing ta final, zayt, means oil. This is 1 hand from the right because it's finishing the word, zayt. Let's go to tha. Tha, which we pronounce it th, tha. Tha for basic, 1, 2, 3 dots, the same body with different dots. Tha. My word is haratha. He cultivated. So this is ending tha, basic, not attached. Then tha initial, which is starting the word thum, garlic. Here is my starting. Then the medial tha, which is having 2 hands from right and left, like the word kathir, which means a lot. This is in the middle with 2 hands. And the last form of tha, which is having 1 hand from the right, because it's final, finishing the word. It's like in the word Laith. It's a name of the lion. We can start another part, which is Jeem, Ha, Kha. My 3 letters also sharing the same form, the same basic body, with difference in the dot, and if there is a dot, and the position of it. For Jeem, Ha, Kha. My Jeem has 1 dot inside the semicircle. For Ha is having none dots. For Kha is having 1 dot above. The basic is just like this. Then the initial form is starting the word. The medial, it's in the middle, so it's having 2 hands. And then the final is ending the word. because it's having a hand from before, just from the right side. So, Jeem, Ha, Kha. They can be without any hands. They can be with one line or hand from left, or two hands, right and left, or one hand from the right. Let's learn how to write Jeem and get some examples about it. We can have like this and then semicircle. Don't forget to put the dot. Jeem basic like in the word merge, which means loan. This is a loan. Then I am having initial Jeem. I will be having the same starting but without any semicircle, then the dot will be below. Jeem initial like in the word Jabal, which means mountain. Let's have it in the middle. We need to be careful about this. I am having the line first, then the same form as initial. For sure, don't forget the dot. My word for the initial is Najm, which means star. The last form, this is Jeem. I am having a hand, and then you just like having the basic of Jeem. So it will be final with one hand, like the word thalj, which means snow. Let's move to the letter Ha. It's exactly like the letter Jeem, but without any dots. Basic Ha like the word tufah, apples. It's basic and non-hands. Ha in the initial form, we do it like this, for sure, there is no dots. Ha like habil, a rope, which is starting the word. Then I am having Ha in the middle. Goes for the word nahla, a bee. If you can notice, this is Ha in the middle. My last Ha is one hand, which is the final. Then I am putting the basic. This is balah, which means a date tree or date fruit. Let's move to the Kha, and for sure you can see how it's different because it's having one dot above. So the same way I wrote Jeem and Ha, I will be writing Kha. Just like this, and then put the dot above, just to show this is the basic one without any hands. Kuch, this one means hot. So I have Kha at the end, basic without any hands. Kha initial, and then the hand. Khas, a lettuce. This is starting the word. Kha in the middle, this one, just with two hands from both sides, right and left. Nakhil, palm tree. You can see one right hand, one left hand. And the last form is Kha final, which is having one hand from the right in order to be ending the word, like the word bittih, which means watermelon. Did you see Kha is finishing the word? My last two letters for the lesson are Dal and Thal. Also, since they are sharing the same body with one difference between them, Dal is having no dots. Thal is having one dot above. So they are having two parts only, or two forms, either basic, detached, the same one as basic as detached, or attached one. Let's see the difference between them. Dal, this is the way how I write it without any hands. Or if it's attached, we're going to be having one hand from the right and then the dal. You need to be aware of one thing, like dal is only being attached from the right side, the same way how we were talking about Alef. You remember, we said Alef is attached only from the right. It cannot be attached from left. The same thing goes for dal and thal. So they are either without any hands, any lines, any attached, or if they want to be attached only from the right side. That's all. And for sure, Thal is one dot above, dal without any dots. Let's try to write the letter dal. This is basic dal, detached. We will be doing this and this. And again, don't forget, you have to be looking at the line you are writing on. So, my example for the word dal, darb, which means away. I am starting dal, it's detached. Then attach dal, one hand, and then this. The example about it is fahd, cheetah. So if you can see, this is dal, which is ending the word or being attached to the previous letter. And let's move to dhal. Dhal, which is just like dal with one dot. This is dhal. My example is dhi'b, a wolf. Starting with dhal, basic dhal. And then the last form of dhal to be attached from one side, which I am going to be having one dot above. It is dhal attached, and I am having one hand from the right. My example is tilmiz, which means a student. Did you see? This is dhal is being attached with only one hand from the right. And I think this is all for our lesson. In the next lesson, we will be having the letters from Ra until Ghain. So be ready for this, and I hope you can prepare and study what we have taken today. And for sure, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section below. If you find this lesson valuable, please consider subscribing to my channel to be notified when the new lesson is released. Thanks for watching, and until next time, salam.